Prior to the war, we all lived peacefully together. At school, my class was roughly half Muslim and half Serb, and other religions. Not that most of us paid attention to religious difference. Then came 1992, when the local government in Prijedor was overthrown by the Serbian Democratic Party led by Karadzic. Everything went downhill. Local propaganda on public TV and radio was working non-stop to ensure the Serb population would fear Muslims or at least be confused. One of the instructions given to all non-Serbs was to put a white flag outside our houses and to wear white armbands, which is why we wear white armbands each year on 31st of May as a reminder, like Jews wearing yellow stars in World War II. One of our family friends who was a Serb didn't want to join the Bosnian Serb army. He was told not to come to work, threatened and called a traitor by his own friends, just because he didn't feel like imprisoning innocent people. He stood up for what was right, if only more did. Eventually they started collecting the local population, mainly men. Sometime in June 1992, it was the turn of my part of the town, Donja Prohaska. Armed soldiers with armoured vehicles were going through the streets shouting, "All men go to the main road." They kept saying, "Don't worry, if you haven't done anything you will be sent home after questioning." No one mentioned concentration camps. When we heard that my father had been taken to a massacre, it was the worst day of my life. I went into the bathroom and I cried. I thought he would be killed there for sure, as we had heard people only went to a massacre on request, which usually meant torture and death. In December 1993, I finally saw my dad again for the first time since that terrible June of 1992. When my older sister and I arrived at the hostel in Balin, where my father was staying, none of us could speak for some time. I first started properly talking about my experience through the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust in 2010, and I'm now also working with Remembering Srebrenica. It wasn't easy to speak out in the beginning as emotions were always taking over. If it wasn't for these two organisations, would I be talking about it at all? Probably not. We are not talking enough about hate. Many think if you ignore it, it will go away. It won't. Hate is a virus. If you don't treat it, it will spread. The past is there to show us. Let's learn from it. It hurts me seeing those things repeat again and again. When will the world say no more and mean it? Hopefully one day soon.